What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'll show you the top 3 best fan builds in Where Winds Meet. With the release shaking up the meta, new weapon synergies, reworked gear sets, and refined class compositions are changing how builds are dominating the game. No matter if you're focused on healing or doing high DPS, these builds will give you insane power. We will cover everything from mystic arts to gear to internal skills, then even martial arts and rotations, and so much more. This build thrives on balance. Offense from the Nameless Sword, sustain, and utility from the Panacea Fan. The sword sets the pace with fast combos, mid-range pressure, and clean gap closers. It's one of the best beginner-friendly weapons because it rewards timing, teaches spacing, and gives you answers for almost every situation. Its charged wave attack is especially valuable early on. The Panacea Fan is the perfect pairing because it compensates for everything the sword lacks. Unlocked early through the Oddity Vendor quests, it gives you on-demand self-healing, team support in co-op, and a surprisingly solid set of ranged options. The moment you get this fan, the game becomes far more forgiving. Long boss fights become manageable, exploration gets safer, and even PvP duels allow for clutch comebacks. Together, sword and fan combine pressure and sustain into a single flow. Attack, reposition, heal, repeat. Our weapon progression is smooth. The Nameless Sword scales evenly with strength and dexterity, so you're never forced into a rigid build path. Upgrade it with Jade Coins as you explore and complete breakthroughs. Meanwhile, oddities you collect, those glowing fairies or firefly puzzles, directly fuel your fan's effectiveness by increasing your health, stamina, and elemental power. Then, weapon talents deepen the synergy. Sword talents increase crit rate, shorten charge time, and unlock an aerial dash for mobility. Fan talents improve healing below 50% HP, reduce recovery cooldowns, and grant defensive bonuses in PvP. These talents level naturally through story, co-op, and exploration. Gear for the build focuses on balanced stats, accuracy, elemental damage, and max HP. Early on, use the recommended set pairings in your equipment menu, then refine secondary stats later with Jade Coins. Because refinement is refundable, experimentation is encouraged. Then, Mystic Arts push the playstyle further. Wind Surge boosts movement and crit for your burst windows. Spirit Flow creates a damaging and healing field that synergizes perfectly with your sword/fan rhythm. Dragon's Breath amps your charged attacks by roughly 30%, making your opener much scarier. Also, our talents add even more identity. Base talents give crit boosts and mythic slots. Boss talents unlock from completing specific encounter challenges and give bonuses like extra boss damage or damage reduction. Even PvP talents you unlock casually will pad out your stats. Internal skills drive the engine. Sword Wave Amplifier enhances charged waves. Totemic Healing strengthens your fan totems. Boss Break amplifies boss damage. And Dual Harmony boosts both healing and damage. You'll unlock better internals every 10 levels as you complete breakthrough trials. And finally, let's go over our rotation. We open with the Charged Wave, close in, land a double strike, dodge cleave backward, switch to fan while moving, drop healing, harass with ranged hits, then return to sword when cooldowns reset. It plays like a Wuxia dance. Pressure, retreat, heal, repeat. Smooth, safe, and extremely reliable. Overall, the heart of the build lies in elemental flow and skill synergy. The sword uses wind, focusing on precision, crits, and fast cuts. And then the fan channels water and life by creating healing zones and passive regen. Wind boosts evasion and crit. Water boosts sustain. The two naturally reinforce each other. The second build revolves around 2 weapons that synchronize almost perfectly: the Healing Umbrella and the Panacea Fan. Both have damage variants, but the focus here is pure sustain. What makes the combination special is how completely their cooldowns complement one another. The Umbrella gives you autonomous healing through its airborne totem, while the fan provides wide AoE coverage, strong burst recovery, and even revives. At the heart of this setup is the Umbrella's healing kit. Its direct heal stabilizes any teammate who dips into danger, but its true power is the airborne totem. Once launched, the Umbrella hangs overhead, floating after your group like a mobile support tower. It constantly targets and heals the weakest ally without requiring any attention from you. That passive freedom allows you to swap to your fan immediately, continuing your healing rotation. Meanwhile, the fan steps in with 2 major tools: the wide AoE heal that stabilizes your party after group-wide damage, and the heavy heal that can restore a nearly downed player or fully revive fallen allies in co-op content. These two weapons create 4 independent healing cooldowns, allowing near-permanent uptime if you combine them correctly. So let's take a look at specifics. And our talents for both weapons significantly boost performance. The Umbrella's healing tree expands the totem's radius, shortens cooldowns, and increases total output, while the fan's talents buff healing efficiency, revive speed, and defensive bonuses that activate when teammates drop low. PvP players in particular will love talents that reduce incoming damage when healing allies under 30% HP, because these make you absurdly hard to kill while simultaneously supporting your team. Then, gear should emphasize maximum HP, healing bonus, and cooldown reduction, where winds meet scales, healing slightly with elemental mastery, especially water or life, so mixing in elemental boosting equipment adds even more efficiency. Later refinements should stack healing power, energy regen, and on-heal effects to smooth over recovery windows. Next, Mystic Arts will tie the build together. Spirit Flow adds a passive healing zone that fits naturally into your cycle. Wind Surge gives you movement and dodge potential to keep pace with chaotic fights. And either Soothing Mist or Dragon's Breath amplifies your next heal or accelerates all healing within its range. Timing these arts right before your fan's heavy heal or while your Umbrella is active can spike your team's recovery by a massive amount. Then, your internal skills further reinforce your identity as a sustain engine. Totemic Harmony extends Umbrella Totem uptime. Spirit Infusion amplifies healing after using Mystic Arts, and Rejuvenating Pulse enhances heal tick speed while regenerating energy. Also, Dual Harmony gives a hybrid bump to both healing and elemental scaling for players who occasionally swap to a DPS weapon in solo play. And finally, the rotation is simple but powerful. We want to deploy the Umbrella Totem, then swap to the fan, then drop AoE recovery, then use your heavy revive heal if needed, then switch back to Umbrella for a direct burst heal, and from here, just rinse and repeat. In PvE, this creates near constant team stabilization during boss mechanics, while in PvP it turns you into the last player standing, because nobody can burst you down. And now for the last build, we have the Umbrella and Fan, but this time not the healing variant, but the full DPS, which is focusing on ranged pressure, combo chains, aerial control, and constant weapon swapping. It's one of the most mechanically complex weapon styles in the game, requiring remapped controls, tight timing, and full understanding of aerial and fracture bone interactions. The Ninefold Umbrella introduces the core mechanic, Bloom Petals. Every Umbrella attack generates petals, and your heavy skill consumes them as your Umbrella floats in the air, attacking autonomously. While the Umbrella is active, you're free to swap weapons without losing damage, allowing your fan to take over while the Umbrella rains projectiles. The entire style revolves around filling petals quickly, launching the Umbrella, swapping to the fan, applying aerial and fracture bone debuffs, and letting the Umbrella damage skyrocket, while the fan cycles its empowered follow-up attacks. Petal generation comes from 2 key Umbrella attacks. The first is the Charged Light Attack, a signature move where you fly upward while firing projectiles, giving you mobility and rapid petal generation. The second is a melee launch combo, which is a heavy attack followed by light, which surges forward and hits multiple enemies at once, filling petals extremely fast in group fights. The Inkwell Fan provides the second half of the rotation. Its Charged Light Attack summons a tornado that lifts enemies into the air, applying aerial and fractured bone debuffs. From here, the fan can unleash a follow-up heavy strike that hits 3 times, or 5 times if empowered. Empowerment comes from either the fan's heavy skill or its light skill, which adds a 30% projectile damage bonus and guarantees your next follow-up attack becomes the 5-hit version. Because this follow-up attack has a 6-second cooldown, optimizing your rotation means chaining empowered follow-ups every time the cooldown resets. Overall, this build's strength comes from its relentless pressure and layered damage sources. The Umbrella attacks while you're active on Fan. The Fan applies debuffs that amplify the Umbrella, and your rapid swapping makes the style feel like a true martial arts stance. It excels in both mob clearing and boss bursting, but requires strong control, remapping, awareness of cooldowns, and precise movement to play optimally. And as for gear, Mystic Arts, internal skills, and everything else, just follow the same healer setup, just with a more focus on getting DPS instead of healing. Most players prefer to use the DPS variant in solo and for leveling, while the healing variant for group play, so you can easily use the same setup and just switch between them depending on the content.